What's up, guys? Your girl Luca here, back with another video, and today I will be discussing how Square Enix has decided to refold Luminous Studios back into the main company. But before we get into that, if I can ask you guys to please hit the like button, it would be much appreciated. So, Luminous Studios, you may know them for creating Forspoken. Forspoken is a game that recently released to middling reviews and some minor controversy regarding the main character. There was some people discussing how they found the dialogue to be cringe. Me personally, listen, I am a CW fan. If it had been a CW show, I would have been in there like swimwear. That being said, the gameplay that I experienced in the demo was not enough to keep me fully engaged in the title. Therefore, I chose to pass up on it. But mayhaps I will try it when it goes on sale or at a later date, right? Me myself just wasn't interested in it. I had nothing to do with the dialogue really. I just wasn't invested, so to speak. But I have plenty of people I know really seem to enjoy the game, and there are other people who are like, "Oh yeah, it's okay. Like I like it, okay." So but overall, it received middling reviews, and because of that, some people have come to the conclusion that Square Enix is shutting down Luminous Studios based on how Forspoken did in regards to the reviews and this idea of their sales as well. I don't believe we have official numbers for Forspoken yet. Feel free to correct me in my comment section if I'm incorrect. I would love to have this discussion with y'all, but as it stands right now, you know, that's the conclusion people are coming to. Now, this we're going to read what they said. So, now the merger is part of the company's efforts to further bolster the competitive prowess of the group's development studios, a goal set forth under its current medium-term business strategy. Square Enix has developed numerous AAA HD games and possess a wealth of intellectual property and content. Luminous Productions is meanwhile equipped not only with AAA title development capabilities, but also technical expertise in areas such as game engine development. Combining the two entities will further enhance the group's ability to develop HD games. Uh, Now, I find this statement to be particularly interesting, mainly off of this article that Slomo linked me to from 2019. So we're going to share it. This is a official studio interview with Yosuke Matsuda, so Matsuda Yosuke, about Luminous Productions. So Square Enix president and studio head discussed mission to create new global AAA IP. Mind you, it's been okay. There are several things. Like before we go into this, there are several things to take account of. 2019 is before the global panorama. Things may have changed in regards to their business model and their strategy and how they handle production going forward, especially with the accommodations that they had to make during the panorama. So the statement they released today could completely be a viable one that does not actually contradict anything that's stated here, mostly because the world changed from 2019 to 2023. So it's been several years since then. So I just want to preface it by that, right? But so this is what Matsuda-san says, right? So let's see here. A year and a half has passed since Luminous Productions was established in March 2018. Could you start by reminding us how and why the studio came into being? All right. So, okay, studios' values, brand, and identity are important. How far we can push a studio in terms of developing a unique identity is especially important, I believe. While Square Enix is a company that exists within a corporate group, it is at the same time a game studio in its own right with a very strong identity. However, having another studio with a distinctly different identity within the same corporate group, I believe, will lead to synergies that add value to the Square Enix group as a whole. So it seemed like they were pushing this idea of two separate entities that coexisted, essentially, right? And now it seems more of the mind that they're going to take members from Luminous's team and refold them into Square Enix proper in order to enhance the main group's ability to develop HD games. That's an interesting statement in itself, right? So, Matsuda continues with the interviews, and I'm taking segments from it. I'll link it so you guys can check it out and everything, right? But the interviewer continues with the approach you've taken with Luminous Productions, namely to establish an independent development studio, out of one of your internal development teams is quite a rare one in Square Enix Group, I believe. So, this could also be an instance of this being like an experiment that they decided to try that mayhaps did not pan out the way that they wanted it to, right? But Matsuda-san continues with, while it's rare for Japanese companies to establish development studios within their corporate groups, it is quite common overseas to have various internal studios within a group. Spinning off a team as an independent studio further underlines their identity and uniqueness, and that is something I believe is crucial to our group as a whole. So I think that, like they were really pushing this idea of this group having a separate identity in itself. And now it seems that they are more inclined to just roll it back and have it be just Square Enix as a whole without this concept of things existing separately, right? So there are several different creative business units at our Square Enix studio, each of which is a studio with a distinct identity. As a new initiative, however, I wanted was to build a separate studio in a more clearly defined form, and that's what Luminous Productions is. So, um, okay, so there's a significance that is to launching Luminous Productions as a studio separate from the existing development teams at Square Enix, and you're looking forward to seeing what comes forth from that effort. Exactly. While the Square Enix group has unique studios also in overseas, such as Crystal Dynamics and Idols Montreal, we wanted a similar. Oh my goodness, you know what? Unique studio in Japan, and therefore established Luminous Productions. So, okay, so here's the thing. Again, we had the global panorama, so strategies could have changed, and that's why there's a less of a focus on having a separate studio, right? I've heard some people make okay, because like some people have been, of course, they've been going back and forth about uh whether or not the the reason why they rolled it back was because of Forspoken and how Forspoken may have done, right? Now, there are some people saying like, this isn't like really an issue. I mean, no one has any issues when other people are buying up studios, all that stuff, right? But something to keep in mind is that Luminous Studios, it was already as there were already members from the Square Enix team. I believe they came from the Final Fantasy team, right? Who, they were already a part of Square Enix, and they separated them and made a new studio based off the team they already had. That's different from going to a independent studio and buying them. Like it's completely different. Like there's different mentalities there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just like if you're making something out of some okay, if you're making a studio out of something that already exists, and then you're like, "Actually, let's bring y'all back," that's different from, "Let me go out and buy this studio that's separate and over there that we've worked with, but they're not officially a part of us." Like, those are 2 separate things. So, here's the update from Luminous Production saying, "You may have heard in the news that Luminous Production is merging with Square Enix beginning of May 1st. Our talented team will join Square Enix to deliver new, innovative gaming experiences to players across the globe. Between now and then, we remain entirely focused on Forspoken. We are currently working on the previously announced patch to address overall game performance. Okay, and in the DLC in Tanta We Trust is on track for release this summer. When we established Luminous Production in 2018, our vision was to make AAA games that fuse technology and artistry to deliver completely new play experiences, which I think that is the same language that is used in this other interview, right? Having the chance to do just that has been a dream come true. We appreciate you taking this journey with us and look forward to continuing to create new entertainment and experiences as part of the Square Enix family. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to make any definitive statements about this, mostly because it's not that serious to me, honestly speaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some people who have very strong feelings on it. I don't. So, all I'm going to do is deliver this information and offer various perspectives as to why. It is completely plausible that due to how Forspoken was received, that is the reason why they decided to roll it back and bring them back in. It is also plausible that the reason they decided to do it is because of solely what they stated. Again, global panorama should also be kept in mind and kept in effect as well. So, just those are my thoughts on it. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Forspoken possibly not doing well is the reason why they decided to shut down Luminous Productions? remerge them into Square Enix, or do you think that some of my viewpoints may be viable, or do you have your own perspective on the matter? I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys for another one. Peace.